They can be dynamic, and they can make you look dynamic. That's what Northwestern has done so far this year.
Persa's hitting 74% of his passes when he's been back. And then you go look at a situation where they lose to Army and allow them to rush for over 200 yards against them.
And so far, Northwestern offensively, I think this number tells everything. They're 49% on third down conversions. That's incredible. Their defense is giving up 51% third down conversions. That's unbelievable.
And you have a situation, especially in the game against Iowa last week, they couldn't control Marvin McNutt at all. Their secondary has really, really struggled, Steve.
And yet, Phil and I are two guys that have great respect for head coach Pat Fitzgerald. The Fitzgerald file, this is a Hall of Famer. You look what he's done during the course of his coaching career, but he was the captain of that 95 Rose Bowl team. He brings a spirit and enthusiasm to Northwestern, and he stepped into a very tough situation after Coach Walker passed away.
You're right. He brings a special kind of passion to the football game for Northwestern. Even when he played for them in the mid-1990s, he was the leader. Almost called him like a firebrand on the football field.
And that's how he ended up making the College Football Hall of Fame. Now, let's get to Pat Fitzgerald, how he feels about Penn State. Great respect for Joe Paterno, not only for Joe, but the program as a whole.
Looking at Penn State, obviously it starts with Coach Paterno. Coach he embodies all that's good in college football. His leadership, his player development, the success they've had in the classroom, producing great men, and his success on the field is unmatched and unparalleled. And he's just a tremendous role model. All of us as coaches, he's just a great person and someone that's been very gracious to me. And it's an honor to share the gridiron with him. And hopefully we'll show up and play our best game and give them a game.
And they gave him a 10-year contract extension, and justifiably so. They know the job he's done at Northwestern. He also is helped out by an offense, Phil, led by Dan Persa, that is versatile and causes a lot of trouble.
They have a great spread philosophy, and Dan Persa is the perfect fit for it. He's struggling a little bit this year, coming off his Achilles heel injury, and last year, he really hurt Penn State in the first half with the way he ran with the football. It'll be interesting to see what he can do in that area against Penn State on Saturday, because pass-wise, 74% completion at this point.
And 78% on opening drives in his career with 2 touchdowns. By the way, we refer to it, Jack Ham and I do, as basketball on grass, the way they play this game. Nate Stupar knows all about Dan Persa back in the high school days and now has to face him in the college game.
I know Persa, I played with him in the Big 33, amazing athlete, great player, and I just know we got to be able to pass down and him down.
And he is a special quarterback. He is a really good college quarterback.
And he has command of the game on the football field. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he just excels. And if he can run, he can create a lot of problems for every football team that they play.
Makes good decisions as they go along. Now, Persa, he looks at the Penn State defense. He knows there are a lot of things to worry about.
They're a solid group. Similar to Iowa, they've been doing the same stuff for a while, but they just do it really, really well. They got a bunch of solid players that don't really make mistakes, and they're not gonna beat themselves. They're gonna make you beat them, and they're not leaving a lot of open plays out there. You just got to execute and sustain long drives. I think that's why they've been so successful. These teams sooner or later have faltered against that.
And you can add the word guts to Dan Persa. He should still be out right now. This is an injury that takes 12 to 14 months to heal. He gets himself back in there in 9, which is amazing. And in his place was a young man named Kain Colter. And Colter, because he is such an athlete, Phil, when Persa came back, they made sure Colter was still in the lineup. Kain Colter leads the team in rushing, touchdowns rushing, and has 9 receptions so far this year. He's a problem.
Next to Persa, he may be the best pure athlete on Northwestern's offense. Like you said, he's the leading rusher on the football team. He reminds me a lot of Persa last year when he was at the quarterback spot, running with the football, that spread offense, and he's a threat. They always got to pay attention to where Colter's on the football field when Persa's a quarterback.
A lot of fine receivers in this conference, but maybe arguably the best chain mover in the conference is Jeremy Ebert. 12 catches, a dozen catches last week against Iowa.
He's a tremendous possession receiver. Isn't the guy that can take the ball vertically down the football field on a regular basis, but he knows where the first down marker is and runs precise routes.
And this is not just a physical test for the Penn State defense, Phil. It's a mental test.
Oh, yeah, they're a smart football team. It's Northwestern. They don't make a lot of mental mistakes. I was surprised defensively the mental mistakes they made against Iowa last week, but it's not usually the case week in and week out.
But the Northwestern defense gives up so much along the way, Phil, and that's a problem for them. Teams have thrown the ball, despite they have a couple guys like Brian Peters and Mabin at the corner who aren't that bad.
You know, I think the problem has been is they haven't put much pressure at all on the quarterback. People have had time to sit in the pocket, view the film, view the field, and make the decision whether they want to throw the football.
No question. They've not put a lot of pressure, even though Vince Brown's a guy who has 18 career sacks, but teams have kept control on him so far.
They haven't had to depend on anyone else. Right. They can kind of concentrate on Vince, and the other guys haven't stepped it up and done the job.
And another problem is they've given up 80 points in the fourth quarter. Teams in the second half have made comebacks.
You know, physically, Big Ten teams have been able to dominate them so far this year, and that's their biggest problem. They've played a lot of teams very well in the first 30 minutes. It's been the third and fourth quarter that's been their downfall, Steve.
In fact, the Iowa game was the only game this year in which they've been behind at halftime. We'll come back to wrap it up in just a few moments, right after this.